Hey, friends. Welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast. Come join me, your host, Nicole, for some hope-filled conversations about heartfelt entertainment that makes your heart swing. Hey, Hallmarkies, Hearties, and Chessies. Welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast. I'm your host, Nicole, joined once again today by my good friend, Alex, to talk about the recent Hallmark Channel rom-com Blind Date Book Club, starring Robert Buckley and Erin Krakow. It was written by Nicole Baxter and directed by Peter Benson. A bookstore owner finds love and direction in her life when she agrees to review a famous author's new novel. Welcome back to the podcast, Alex. I'm excited to have you on today.
Thanks for having me back once again, Nicole.
Of course.
I'm excited to review this movie. It was definitely a very enjoyable one. Something like very different that we haven't really seen on Hallmark. I mean, the only movie I can kind of like compare it to, like the bookstore storyline, is the Lovebuary movie that Allison Sweeney did with Benjamin Ayres. She had the book club in the movie Love and Jane.
Yep.
So it was kind of like similar with like the book club, but the stories were completely different.
Yeah,
but
I agree. Yeah.
I love the leads.
Yes. Yeah.
The leads were great. We love Erin. I'm so glad Robert was able to come back for a movie because I missed him since Chesapeake Shores.
Yeah.
But it was overall, I really enjoyed the movie.
Yeah. We've had a couple of author type storylines on Hallmark. Right? We have Love and Jane, which is a bookstore one.
Right. There's like a few movies, right? Or like like bookstores or something like.
Winter Love Story is another one. Kevin McGarry and Jen Lilly.
Love that one. One of my favorites.
Yes. Jen Lilly and Kevin's chemistry was great in that one. That's one of my favorite Kevin movies.
Mine too. Definitely.
Yes. And of course, one of my favorite Jen movies too. But we should get to the movie that we're talking about, Blind Date Book Club. Would you like to share your hot takes on the movie?
Yes, like I just said, I really loved Robert and Erin's chemistry in this. And like I said, the story, how Erin's character May owned the bookstore with her mom. Yeah. But before she owned the bookstore, she was a real estate agent. But then she took over the bookstore with her mom, but then her mom got ill. Yeah. So then after her mom passed, her and her aunt kind of went
and took it
did the bookstore, took over the bookstore together. And so she's been like working there for a while now. And like this whole idea of like the Blind Date Book Club, which is the title of the movie. I thought it was very clever how she ran the store. Yeah. Erin's character in it. Yes. It was about how she would make like a weekly book club, and and the people that would come into her store would get these books, and she found
that were wrapped.
Right. And then she found out
they had a description.
Them reading these books, they found an actual connection in their real life with people. Yeah. Which I thought was really sweet. I liked how they like made that connection. Yeah. But then I liked how like Robert Buckley's character came in, Graham, and now he had his whole thing going on with like him being an author for his own book, and he couldn't figure out what to do with his most recent book. He was trying to figure that stuff out. Yes. And I really loved their chemistry was great. I love like the whole like other cast of the movie too. They were great in it too. But I really liked it.
Yes, same. Amazing chemistry with Robert and Erin. Great ensemble cast. And I have to say, being a Hardy, I loved seeing Johanna Newmarch.
Yes. I remember her from the redhead you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Yes, I remember she was in that one episode of Martha's Vineyard. That's why I knew her face. That's where I remember her from. But she was really good in that. But it was fun. It was fun getting to see her back again too.
Yeah, she's fantastic. I love Johanna. Yeah. Wonderful writing and directing from Nicole and Peter. of course, we talked about in our awards how great of a director Peter is. I think
Right.
one of
I know.
Hallmark's best.
We love Peter. Like,
Yes.
exactly.
Great banter with the cast. I loved some of the back and forth with Robert and Aaron.
It was funny. It was good.
Yes.
Especially, I have to bring up the meet cute scene in the beginning. That was the funniest scene.
Yeah.
It was so funny how like they were on like the pier and
Yeah,
then
and the
the
French
couple
or the French
wanted,
family. Yeah.
yes, wanted Graham to take a picture of them.
Like, put your arm around her.
And then they thought they were actually a couple, and meanwhile they weren't. Like, get in the picture.
Yeah, I think Meg was like, she's really taking it seriously.
Yes. I think that was the line.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I also loved the brother-sister relationship with Graham and Lizzie,
I
the
did too.
friendship between Graham and Terrence, and
Mm-hmm.
friendship between Meg and Alice. I thought was great as
Yes,
well.
I liked all that too.
Yeah.
I liked how like his sister was always like so busy all the time. She had a family, but I like there was that one scene. It was like towards like the middle, kind of like slash, not towards the middle, when they like had like the on the phone
The
call with each other.
whispering.
Yes, and the house was like so quiet. The sister was saying because the kids were asleep and they had
Yeah.
that conversation. I love that scene.
Yeah. I have one comment about that and I'll share it when we get to it. But
Right.
yeah, I loved
That was
their relationship and Aunt Renee and Meg's relationship as well. I thought was sweet. Also, the wardrobe.
The wardrobe, like Erin's outfits in this, like the dresses, and oh, I loved it.
I love the
Very
blue
springy.
floral
Very
dress
springy.
she wore
Yes.
at the end.
Me too. It was like it was my favorite. But I'm trying to think what else she wore.
She wore the white blouse,
Right, the white blouse I like too.
the white/cream colored sweater with the tank top under it. I thought that was cute.
Yes. Like very like spring attire,
Yeah.
like perfect for this movie.
Yeah, I agree. I would totally wear some of those outfits.
Oh, me too. I love spring dresses.
Yes. And Graham looked very dapper.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, I like he always looks cute, that Robert Buckley. He always looks cute.
Yes. Yes. Totally gushing over Robert Buckley here.
We love him since Chesapeake Shores. Like, you can't deny that. But no, I'm so glad he like came back for another movie because I kept wondering. I'm like, when are they gonna have like Robert Buckley in another movie? And like, I was surprised at first when I found out they were doing this movie together because I thought I remember I sent something to you and I thought he was doing it with the girl who plays his sister Lizzie, but they didn't have the whole cast in yet. Like I sent you something on IMBD, and I was like confused at first. I was like, we never seen her in a movie before. I wasn't sure whether she was going to be the lead or not. But when I saw Aaron was the lead, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm so excited that Robert was in this movie and, loved him on Chesapeake Shores. And just getting off track here for a second, going to Chesapeake Shores, I have to say, in the beginning, when he and Grayston Holt's character came on, I was originally Team J, I think. But then, as the episodes went on, Evan started growing on me, and I flipped team.
It's so funny you bring that up because my good friend actually she was like not a Hallmark fan. She actually watched the entire series. She loved it, and she was very weird about Evan in the show. I'm like, just give it a minute. Give it a minute. You're gonna like her. And then she's like, no. She watched like by the end of the series. She goes, no, I love him now. Alex, you're right. I told you.
I think what made me originally in the beginning Team J was, I think when they came on, the triangle on When Calls the Heart had just ended.
The love triangle. The love triangle. All of these love triangles, like they gotta end them. No offense.
I think the triangle on When Calls the Heart just ended, and I was Team Nathan. I've always been Team Nathan, and Elizabeth chose Lucas, so I was kind of iffy on the whole city guy kind of thing.
Right.
But then Evan grew on me, so.
Right.
But I loved both guys. Just putting that out there.
I love both of them. Me too.
No teams. # no more triangles.
SSD, Chesapeake Shores, When Colder Heart. I'm like, is it gonna end? Like, it's gotta end.
Hashtag no more love triangles. That is better. And I think Simone, one of my postable friends, came up with that.
Yes, very, very clever, Simone. Like,
no more love triangles. Although the only person that can correctly write a love triangle is Martha Williamson.
She's the best at it. No, she is. Yes. She honestly is, though.
Yeah. But we are getting way down the rabbit hole. The only other thing I'll say for a hot take is I would love a sequel with these characters.
Yes. I want to see like where the relationship goes. Like if they do make a second movie. That would be good to see.
Yes, agreed. For highlights, do we want to go ahead and share some of the best or key moments?
Yes.
Would you like to go first?
Some of mine would definitely be obviously the meet cute scene, which I brought up before.
One of my favorites.
So funny. But I also like the gazebo scene with like Meg and Graham, and they were like discussing his book, and she was trying to find out, Meg, what was the inspiration behind his book series. And I thought that was like a really like cute, like intimate scene between the two of them. They got like pretty close to each other in that scene because they were discussing that topic. And I think those two scenes were like my favorite for me.
Yeah.
What about you?
Say those are at the top of my list. I love when Meg is talking about her mom and she says, there's so much with my mom here. And Graham walks up to her and he says, and probably out there too. Pretty sure everywhere and anywhere you are.
Yeah, like her mom will always be like, her mom's always going to be with her.
Yes. I also love one of the comments before that. It was kind of comical when she says how she sold a few waterfront properties back in the day. And he was like, pretty sure you're too young to use that phrase. Post-college? How does that sound?
Post-college. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that scene.
A couple of other comical lines, in a way, is right at the beginning when Meg gets to the bookstore and she says, I never thought I'd say this, but, and then Alice says, shrimp is better than lobster? Definitely not. Pulp Fiction is taste, not a measure of talent. Right. And she follows up by saying, the phrase, let's table this for later, is the worst. And of course, that comes back up a couple other times in the movie.
Right, I remember that.
Yes.
That was funny.
And then they're talking about the book club, and I love how Alice says, you know, blind date book club, and Meg is like, blind date with a book club. I have to say, blind date book club flows a lot better than blind date with a book.
With a book club, I agree. It's a lot more catchier.
Yes. And then the comment, we really need to get a doorbell when Raina arrives.
I know everyone just like keeps opening the door like unexpectedly. But like I know they had to get like one of those bells that like hang on the wall or like on the door, on the top of the door frame, so when somebody comes in, they hear the bell.
Yes. Graham and Terrence had a couple of nice moments in this movie. And the first one, you know, they're talking about his new book that he wrote, and Graham, that is. And Terrence liked it, but he didn't love it. He says, you've written a romance, but your audience is not women. That's not a romance. That is a historical epic that happens to center around a love story. It's a modern day Gone with the Wind.
Right, like Terrence was his like agent, right? Like he was having a hard time finding the inspiration with the book he just created. So they were having that conversation.
And best friend, I think, because they were talking a lot about stuff from the past as if they had been friends for a long time. Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah, they were. I think so. So it was both. Yeah.
Yes, because there's a comment in this scene when Graham suggests self-publishing for his new book under another name, Dylan Turner. And Terrence is like, wasn't he the captain of our football team? Was he?
Was he? That's so funny.
Yep. And then Terrence
Hilarious.
using the word lit.
Lit. That was another. What did he say? Kids use the word lit today or something like that.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Yes. The guy that plays Terrence in this movie is fantastic. He's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I remember him in
He was in Tyler's movie last year.
Yes.
With Rhiannon.
Yes. He was also in that Killer Timing Mystery 101 episode, right? He played like the woman's husband who was
I think so. Yes, yes, you're
yes,
right.
He was right. He played the woman's husband who they had like the house fire.
House blow up.
Fire, yeah, it was him.
Yeah, he was also in Welcome to Christmas with.
Yeah, like you said, he's been a lot.
And Jennifer Finnegan.
I gotta watch that movie.
It's a good one.
I have to watch it because Eric's in it. So I have to get.
Yes.
But when it comes on, I have to definitely record it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff. He's great.
Right.
The interview with Raina. What did you think about the interview? Yeah.
It was like, honestly, the interview, she was trying to, I think Raina was more interested, she was interested in the book club, but she was more interested in the message behind the book club.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When she was asking her those questions, but also like her personal life too. Like, didn't she like?
Yeah, she was asking about starting in real estate. Meg, that is. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yes.
And why she took over the bookshop. And Meg is like, no, it's not a dating craze. It's about the books. At least that's what I focus on. I love Meg's reaction to Raina saying it's like a dating craze.
It's like a dating craze. I remember her face too.
Yes. Or dating app, I think is what she said. Yeah. And Erin's facial expression.
Spot on.
She always does a great job. Graham's phone conversation with Lizzie, the first one, when he's in the car.
Yes.
And
that's his face. Somebody sent me the photo of his face in that scene. I was like, I started laughing again. I was thinking about this scene. He was like having the conversation with her, but then didn't something like come on the radio about his book?
It was Meg's interview.
Oh, yes, that's what it was.
Yeah. Lizzie was trying to take care of her kids, and Graham was like, is this a bad time? Sounds like a bad time.
And the kids were going wild in the background.
Yes. And then Graham's commentary about the interview was funny.
Very funny.
When he was saying the same stuff that Meg was saying.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the interview.
Yes.
Yeah. The second meeting at the bookshop, when they literally run into each other, that was awesome.
That was.
And
I love how it's like the dialogues, they're like, oh, you again? You?
Yep. Yeah.
Like that type of dialogue.
You're the guy from the dock. You're the girl from the picture. I think is what they said.
Yes, no, I think that's the line.
And then Alice is just in the back, peeking.
She's like, I want to see.
He's cute. Oh my gosh. That would be
one of my friends doing that.
Yeah. If it was me with a cute guy and I had a friend, nearby. Yep. He goes to pick out a couple of the wrapped books, for the book club. And then he's talking about how he relocated to Nantucket for a few weeks. And I love how Meg says, you said you were on vacation. And then he's like, working vacation.
Working.
Of course, he's trying to convince Meg to wrap his book. And, she does after a little convincing. And I do love when he says, I just want to put something out that matters. And then Meg says, if you love something, you shouldn't give up on it, even if you're just aspiring. And that's very true.
Yes, totally agree with her.
Very relatable. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of the scene of Meg and Aunt Renee when Aunt Renee says that she wants to give up the bookshop and travel?
Oh, I know that I felt so bad during that scene. I'm like,
I know.
I know, because it was hard for Meg because she wasn't sure whether she wanted to take over the whole bookstore on her own and have that whole responsibility
Yeah.
fall on herself. And then she was like kind of like
Mhm.
debating whether she may wanted to go back to real
Yeah.
estate. So yeah, that was hard. That was hard on her. But like she knew her aunt helped her out, so it was something she had to think about.
Yeah, because her mom was sick. Meg's mom was sick.
Yes.
And that's when the bookshop started struggling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm.
And another person that is struggling because of writer's block is Graham. He has 3 weeks to turn in his book, according to Terrence. And,
Right.
Graham thought it was 5. 3 weeks is not a lot of time.
No. To like write to what'd you say to write a new like
Novel. Yeah.
novel? Yeah, that's nowhere near the amount of time. Like, doesn't that usually take like months for people to write a book, or even more
It
than
takes
like
a
a
lot of
year?
time. Yeah.
Exactly, like a year. Yeah, it takes a while.
Yeah.
I can never do that in like 3 weeks. No way.
Yeah. I mean, I can't even write fan fiction in a week.
I'm a horrible writer to begin with, Nicole. That's not my strong suit.
Like, my most recent chapter of the Postables fanfic or the SSD fanfic
Right.
was posted, I think, over a year ago. I'm still working on the next chapter. Probably because I've been busy with the podcast.
Right. Like you said, it takes a while. It takes a long time. You cannot do that in 3 weeks. That's like rushing.
I love the scene with Graham and Meg when he comes in and he wants to pay Meg for her time. But, she says that's not necessary since she already read it. And
Right.
she's talking about how his book is not the type of romance that the book club is looking for. And this is when she's convinced to let him in.
Sell the book. Yeah.
Yes,
And like
sell the book. Yeah.
that's what I really liked about her character in this too.
Yeah.
Meg. And I really thought it was sweet how she wanted to help him out, and she wound up deciding to help him out like with the book, with this book, to see what people in her bookstore would take on it. I thought it was like it was so kind of her to do, because she saw that he was struggling with it, Graham. So she's like, I'm gonna help him out.
Yeah. Meg and Alice's reaction to finding out he's Graham Sterling and not Dylan was priceless.
Oh. Yeah. That scene was also funny. It was more towards the end, but like they were having the whole book club go over his book, and then everybody started realizing who he was, Graham.
Yes.
I thought that was very funny.
That was really funny.
Their reactions to him being who he was hilarious.
And one thing I have to mention from this scene that was hilarious was when Graham and Meg are outside talking about how he's never been part of a book club or a writer's support group. And she's explaining how the book club works and the next meeting, which is a potluck picnic. And then Graham is reading the description of one of the books. I'm guessing it's one that he bought. And he says, it sounds like a dating profile. And then he backtracks and he's like, it sounds good.
It sounds like a dating profile.
I think a favorite friendship scene in this movie was the lunch with Meg and Alice, when Meg is telling Alice how she doesn't know or can't decide what to do between selling the bookshop and not selling the bookshop.
Right. Yeah, I thought that was a really nice scene between the two of them. Like, it showed like how deep like their friendship was. And I like that she was like telling like she wasn't sure what she was gonna do because she she was debating on going back to real estate. She didn't want to have the responsibility of the book club under her, but then it was hard because, like you said, it was her mom. It's honestly, it was when you think about it, it was her mom's legacy. The bookstore was her mom's legacy, so it was hard to. It was very hard for her to part ways with that because they started it together and like, yeah. But that was a great scene.
Yes. I also love when Alice says, "You were really going to come between a pregnant lady and her fries?" Because Meg was trying to take some of the French fries, and of course Alice let her have some, and then goes to order a milkshake.
Yeah.
I have to say, I love a milkshake and fries.
Oh my! Together. Isn't that the best, Nicole? It's literally the best. I love it.
Yes.
I don't know how people find that weird. I'm like, it's good. I'm like, it's really good. You don't knock it till you try
and like it. A Wendy's Frosty with French fries.
Cannot go wrong. Wendy's Frosties are my favorite.
Love Wendy's Frosties. Also, we don't have one anymore, and I'm kind of bummed. But Steak and Shake had some of the best milkshakes, and then their fries too.
Oh, that's kind of like Shake Shack, what we have here.
Yeah.
In like New York, I know you probably heard of Shake Shack. Like
probably.
It's like kind of similar to that, I guess. Yeah. It's like a regular like burger.
Yeah.
Place like fries, all that stuff. But oh my god, their milkshakes and their fries together, Nicole.
We have a Comeback Shack here.
Oh, okay.
Which is probably similar to Shake Shack.
Shack, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But like you can never go wrong with that.
Yes.
Milkshake and fries.
Maybe Shake Shack is the same thing as Comeback Shack, but like
probably just like under different names. Probably.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Just a different name. But I don't know. I know Comeback Shack is a chain, I believe. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But back to the movie and the potluck picnic. Oh, that's a tongue twister. I love when Meg and Alice are talking about the looks between Stacy and Jackson.
Oh, yeah. They're like, something's going on here between these two.
Alice is totally shipping them.
Yes, 100%.
Although Meg, I think, is more on the, I didn't notice any. Yeah. And everyone talking about the book while arranging flowers, of course. And then I love the conversation with Graham and Meg after the meeting is done.
Right. Too. Yeah, that was like a really adorable scene.
And he gives her the flowers too, which is really sweet.
Yeah.
Another great scene, but it was brief, was Graham and Alice when I think they're at that coffee shop and he runs into her and
yes.
They're talking about her being an aspiring writer. And I love how he gave her advice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like,
keep doing what you love.
Yes. Yeah. She was telling him about,
writer's block, I think.
Yes. Right. It was like, it was something like, wasn't she like trying to write like a book of her own or something like that?
Yeah. She was trying to write a book.
He was having trouble like getting the words out. He was like encouraging her that she can do it. Yeah.
Yes. Also, Graham and Meg, when Graham is at the bookstore and he's watching somebody pick up his book and Meg comes up behind him and she's like, looks like somebody didn't see the no loitering sign. And
so funny.
Then Graham is talking about procrastinating. Meg says, maybe you've just lost sight of what inspired you, what connected you to the readers. But Graham that started it all. I also love the support and encouragement Meg gave to Graham in that scene when she says, what you do is real to your fans, which has nothing to do with what genre it is. It matters to them. And then they have a little moment at the bookstore.
Yes.
That was very sweet.
Very sweet.
Another sweet scene was the phone conversation with Graham and Lizzie. We mentioned this one earlier when they're whispering. And Lizzie says, I'm starting to think you're a modern day Judy Blume. I thought that was sweet.
Yeah. I love Graham in that scene. He goes, why are you whispering? Like, what's
And I think he proceeds to send a basket of muffins along with a note to Lizzie. and his nieces. I thought that was so sweet.
Yeah. I like what like the note. I can't remember what the note said.
I can't either. Yeah, I don't have it written down, but
it was like something about
thank you for always supporting me.
Supporting me and like reminding me of what I love to do or something along those lines.
Yeah. Yes. We already talked about the talk on the dock, but I love the little back and forth banter between them before they go to the dock when he says, "So where to?" Meg, you'll see. And Graham's like, equally vague. In the way that only Robert Buckley can say.
Say that, yes. Yes. I know what you mean about that. Yes, only he can say it that way. I agree.
Equally vague. I feel like he said something along those lines in Chesapeake Shores.
At some point. I think he did too.
I think he did say vague at some point in the show about something.
Yes, about something. Yes, I remember. I'm trying to think about the scene, but yeah, definitely did.
Also, can we just talk about Meg's pep talk to herself in the mirror with the outfits?
Yes. She's like, no. She was. It's like then she was trying. She was telling us
this is fine.
This is fine.
It's not like it's a date. I can do better.
I can do better.
Too much. Hello. Welcome to my garden. I look like a grape. This is better.
Yeah, she found going with like the white top with like the jeans.
Yes. Yeah, I loved that outfit. The dinner date. And I love the fact that he made the reservation way before he ever knew if she was going to say yes.
Right, exactly. He made it like he made it way before, like you said.
That was very sweet.
Yes.
And I loved that whole dinner date too, as well. We had the talk over wine and lobster ice cream.
I'm like, I'm like,
I love lobster.
No, for the lobster ice cream for me. Love ice cream, but.
And before they eat the ice cream, she's talking about where she went to college and her parents and her mom, and how she's a local. And then she asks about his village of people, which include his sister and nieces.
Yeah.
And then when he asks her to rank the lobster ice cream, she's like -3 or -3. When she says the -3 comment, he's like, then why are you still eating it? Oh my gosh. Graham walking Meg home, the talk on the porch, and their first kiss. And the reactions after that.
Yes. Oh, the reactions after that made the entire scene. Had her like closing the door and her like standing by the curtain so she doesn't see him. And his Graham's reaction too. It was so adorable.
Yes. And can we talk about that kiss?
Another great kissing scene. Like I said, they're upping all these kissing scenes, which I love.
Yes, that was woo. I think I need a fan for that. Very sweet and very romantic.
Yes.
And I've just loved the reaction, especially from Meg leaning up against 100%. The door.
Yeah.
That would be me.
Me too.
The text conversation with Graham and Meg when, he wants a copy of the photo and she says, "You mean the one of me looking super awkward? The one where fate pushed us together." And yes, I realize you're probably rolling your eyes at this cheesy remark, but it had to be said.
Yeah. Yeah, that was another really cute scene between them, that little like text conversation.
The talk with Graham and Meg at the bookstore before the book club meeting. And, she's worried that something will go wrong because Raina is attending and, hardly anyone knows that Dylan is Graham. And Graham gives her a pep talk. I thought that was cute.
Yeah.
He's like, everything's going to be okay. We're going to get through this. Yes. Aunt Renee comes in and Megan walks off. Graham has walked off too, and he goes to talk to Alice, and he gives her a sign book, which I thought that was sweet. And then they talk about apples, which will come up at the end of the movie.
Yes.
Which I loved that. And I also loved Meg giving Graham the pep talk through text. You know, he's sitting on the swing and
yeah, and like she's like she's looking at him from the store, and he's like sitting there and has this smile on his face.
Yes, not exactly a porch swing scene.
No, but close to it.
A porch swing scene. Raina's comments about Graham looking familiar, that was
I know. She's like, don't I know you from somewhere? You look very familiar.
And Graham and Meg are just like
no,
trying to downplay it.
Trying to downplay it as best as they could.
And when everyone was talking about the book and giving feedback on it, you know, Graham's silent. Or not so silent.
Right. You're trying to like downplay it.
He's like, okay. Not sure how to respond to this.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to respond to this. What's happening right now?
Oh my gosh. And at one point, when Stacy says something, Meg stands up and she's like, is it hot in here?
He's shaking. Yeah. Meg's like, is it hot in here? I'm gonna go like open a door or a window or something like that.
Oh my gosh. And Aunt Renee, she says, this is certainly different from any other book club I've been to.
It's another one of my favorite lines.
What are your thoughts on the conflict in this movie?
Oh, with
how everyone found out, and then
yes, in the process of everybody finding out who
she decides to sell the store.
Yes, Graham, who Graham really was, and then then she has to like just blurt out in the moment that she wanted to sell the store, even though she really wasn't sure in that moment. She just said it because everybody was like reacting to her. She just wanted to like say something. I thought the conflict was pretty. I thought it was like pretty like relevant to like the story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I thought it fit pretty well into the story. How like included Graham and him and them finding out who he was behind the author of his, finding out he was the author of this book, and then like her story, Meg with the bookstore and her trying to decide what she should do with it, and like in the moment she just blurts out, "Oh, no, I'm gonna sell it." And but like deep down inside, I knew Meg in that scene, she really wasn't exactly sure what to do. She just said it just to say it, to get like everybody off her back. But no, I thought the conflict like fit.
Yeah, I think it was done very well, but at the same time, it still was, you know, like a predictable kind of
scene
for a conflict for a Hallmark movie. Yeah,
right.
Or Hallmark rom-com. Yeah,
right. And then they had that kind of like that little like not really argument. They had that discussion, Graham and Meg, right afterwards. She goes, she wanted everyone to leave. Him. That made me sad.
Yeah, same. Come on, Meg, don't ask him to leave.
Because he wanted to help her like clean up, like clean up, and she's like, no, I just need everybody to go.
Yes, I loved Aunt Renee looking at the old photos of, I guess it was her and Meg and Meg's mom. That was sweet.
Yeah, that was a really, really sweet scene.
Yeah, and then the one after that when they're saying goodbye, or not goodbye, but see you later.
Yes,
and
the one that was the one where like she decides her aunt to like, was she like going on a trip? Oh, I know like from the beginning. Yeah,
she was going on a trip. Yeah,
she wanted to retire her aunt. And then this was her going on like the trip. And I love that scene.
Yeah, me too. And she gave Meg the photo album and some encouragement. Very touching. The video call with Terrence, and to talk about the pages Graham sent in. Graham says, "You haven't cried since that exchange student broke up with you in 7th grade." Valentina was her name, according to Terrence.
Yes.
I love how Graham mentions possibly sending Alice's writing to Terrence.
Yeah. Yeah, his agent. That was
Yeah.
so we take a look at it.
Yeah, that was really thoughtful. Writers
Yes.
helping writers.
Yes, very thoughtful of him to do that.
And we get one of the most romantic, cute scenes in the movie. The last scene at the bookstore.
When
he's holding up the sign and, she says, "Is loitering your new favorite pastime?" And he's mentioning how she's the GOAT, the greatest of all time. In reference to what his nieces said when he told them about her. I thought that was cute.
Yes.
And then we get a little flirting after she says that she's staying in Nantucket and keeping the bookstore.
Also, I know we're towards the end, the scenery in this movie was gorgeous. I have to bring that up because like the dock and like the gazebo where it was gorgeous. I love the scenery. Like it really made me enjoy the movie even more. Whatever location they shot it in, it was gorgeous.
Yeah. I think they shot it somewhere in Vancouver. My guess would be Vancouver Island.
That's where they usually shoot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the ending scene with them at the bookstore.
Yes. You are the most real, refreshing thing I have felt in years. And there's some flirting.
One of my favorite Graham lines in the entire movie.
Yes. And then they kiss and live happily ever after.
Yes.
It was a really good movie. I really enjoyed it.
I did. Me too. Me too.
Just wrapping up, would you like to share your ratings for this movie? So that's plot and script, chemistry, and overall on a 10 scale.
Right. I give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay. For plot and script?
Yes.
9 out of 10. Chemistry?
10 out of 10. I thought their chemistry was fantastic.
And overall?
10 out of 10. Like I said, I really love this one. Like I said, I love Aaron. I love Robert.
Yeah.
So I knew the movie was going to be fantastic.
I gave it 9.5 out of 10 for the plot and script, just because the conflict was a little predictable, but it was still good. It was just a little predictable.
Yeah.
Chemistry, 10 out of 10, and overall, 10 out of 10. Yeah.
Yes.
Very good movie, and so far, I think it's one of the best for 2024 for Hallmark.
Definitely up there, like one of my favorite.
Yeah, it'll probably be in my top 10.
Probably mine too.
For the year, yeah. We'll see if they're the same this year.
Exactly. We're gonna see.
We'll see if they land in the same.
Exactly.
Number.
Well, wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, we have the same brain sometimes.
We I said this to you before, Nicole. We literally share the same brain. It's honestly, we do. It's just a thing.
Yes.
Because that's what it is, Nicole. Like we have like so much in common. We agree on a lot. That's what it is. But it's always good. Like when you have a friend that's like you have stuff in common with.
Yes. Agreed. But this is always fun having you on, and I can't wait for next time.
Yes. I can't wait to be back.
Yes. All right. Hallmarkies, Hardies, and Chessies. I think that wraps up our review of Blind Date Book Club. If you enjoyed this episode, you can like this video and share your thoughts on the movie in the comments. If you want to stay up to date with all of my movie reviews and When Calls the Heart season reviews, if you're a Hardie, you can subscribe to this channel and make sure to turn on the bell so you are alerted when new episodes come. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you have a great day or night wherever you are in the world, and we will see you next time. We love y'all. Bye.